Hi everyone, welcome to Practical Alchemy. Welcome to this reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which is going to be happening on January 13th, 2021. And what I want to do is pull in some tarot and have a look at the tarot messages for this energy and what it could possibly be. I just want to say that I feel slightly uncomfortable. And I don't really know, I can't give you an exact reason other than it's a little bit hot here and I'm having technical difficulties and, there's a few different superficial reasons why I'm feeling uncomfortable. But another thing is I've tried to do a couple of readings so far and the audio was just not recording. And it was my own fault because I had missed something and missed a setting. A thought that came to my mind when I was watching, various different things over the last couple of days of what's going on in the world, and came to this realization that the need for the voice to be heard is like the equivalent of a codependency. We don't need to be heard. I don't need you to hear this. I don't need you to listen to this. I do this out of love. And so this feeling of being uncomfortable that a couple of the readings weren't recorded, it's kind of reminding me like we have to check where our imbalances are. Like we have to check where, things are. I'm a little bit too codependent on technology just working because I've been using Apple computers for a long time and they just work. You just do what you need to do. But when they become old and decrepit, it's a little bit different. No matter what I've tried with new equipment, it still sounds a bit shit. So ultimately I have to upgrade the computer, but that's what's uncomfortable. Like I can't get around it with adding different pieces of equipment. That's not how it was designed to work. But having said that, they have lasted a long time. But I have become codependent on my relationship with my personal technological setup over the last several years. This is a perfect example of where independence is something that we should be looking at, because we have so many different levels of independence. Our lives are like compartmentalized into different areas: relationships, work, career, home, all different kinds of sections of life where we have some level of independence, and in others we have no level of independence or too much independence. So it's like this balance of independence and possibly the redefining of those things in our lives. So that's just a few thoughts that I had while I was trying to come back onto my little platform of doing readings and my experience. I want to say happy birthday to a very special woman out there who is a friend, and her birthday was on January 10th. And I think it's January 11th now in the US, so my apologies, but happy birthday. And I also want to say a special thank you to someone who made an extremely generous donation to my channel and to what I'm doing here. And it was quite shocking and surprising. So sending my love to you and to everyone who listens to this and gets something out of it. So I'm going to jump right into this message. What could this message possibly be in this time right now of being separated and being, run running into walls and having to fix things and thinking quickly. Is it more of that, or is there a change in direction? What is this energy? I know some people out there are completely isolated, and they like to be isolated because it makes them feel safe, and it makes them feel like they have some level of control over what goes on in their own personal life. But there is a point where it's just too much isolation or too much independence. And then on the other hand, there is people who do not want to be alone, who feel very, very isolated and are in despair over this situation of being isolated. So I'm just going to go through these cards one by one since you can't see them. Nine of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Hermit. This is all energy of the recent past. I believe this Hermit and the Seven of Swords came up recently. I think it was in the Aquarius reading, which is private to members on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, when I was listening back to it, I realized there was some hidden messages in it, and it just sort of made me feel really intrigued by knowing that there was hidden messages of my subconscious coming to my conscious. I mean, I always knew that, but I thought that when I was reading that things were coming to my consciousness as I'm reading the cards and as I'm verbalizing. But actually, if I go back and listen to some of them, especially the last one, I can actually hear things in there that I was not conscious of in the actual reading until listening to it later. So if you do readings for yourself, I highly recommend recording them and then going back and listening to what is subconsciously coming up, which you might not see in the moment. So this Nine of Wands, this is a energy of hanging on to vitality, finding ways and using different techniques, different diets, different schools of thought, different philosophies, different just new approaches to gaining more. It's like this energy of, it's not necessarily opportunistic of needing more to overcome something, but it is an energy of having to rely on the skills and your abilities and the tools that you've gained, but also waiting for more downloads or waiting for more tools or knowledge or whatever it is. I kind of have a problem with that being next to the Seven of Swords and the Hermit, because it's like, in hindsight, we see the things we thought we wanted, the things we thought we needed to gain, the things that we thought would help, and the things that were just a total waste of energy. The current energy is the Two of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So there is a completely new concept or conception of, it's like, what I'm seeing in my mind is there's a particular word for it which will come to me in a second. It's like a grafting. When they graft skin, that is exactly what I'm picking up here. This conception, this new thing, is being grafted towards something that looks like, feels like, and sounds like something totally new than what you have been working on or holding on to. Six of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Page of Swords is, so that's a lot of air energy moving forward. The outcome is the Page of Swords, which is youthful, it's information. But it's ideas on how to basically move through something here that's, so let's just say something's being grafted physically, literally, to the skin, and they take it from somewhere else and put it in a spot that needs it so that the skin can regenerate and it can be healed. The focus of what's lost, where that skin is coming from, could overtake a lot of people emotionally. There's, I'm not going to say a sacrifice, but there is a feeling of loss and defeat with what has to change, what has to happen, and what is possible now. I feel it's a new partnership for a lot of people, and the possibility of creating stability in one certain area of life to the detriment kind of another certain area of life, but it's for the purpose of, it gets you where you should be in life. Two of Cups, it's like you want to feel like this thing has purpose. You want to feel heard. And we have this problem in the world at the moment, not people are not feeling heard, and what they do when they don't feel heard. It's not anything new. I mean, we've been seeing this on social media for a long time, of what lengths people will go to feel valid. Where am I going with this? I don't exactly know. I'm just talking and looking at the cards, but I feel like there's a new partnership on the horizon for many people. And this new partnership is formed out of a selection. You have a selection. And the narrowing down of the selection has a lot to do with conversation. That is going to be the determining factor of who you're going to be merging with, in a sense. I do see a merging of something. It could be between people, it could be between you and something else in this physical world, like you and desire, an outcome that you want, and you're merging with that, or wanting to merge with that, wanting to become whatever that is. Where you were trying to in the past, I feel Nine of Wands, that's trying to not give up. But then looking back on it in hindsight, seeing all these like mistakes or illusions, even lies. So I'm going to further clarify this with some more cards. The basic message of this, to simplify it, is that there is a new emotional experience through the selection that you make using your mental capabilities, the mind. And it is the power and the ability to overcome mistakes, overcome being lied to, overcome you being a liar to someone because of whatever reason. I'm not judging. There's a mature way to handle this situation. So I'm going to delve into it deeper. But this is a totally new experience, new grounds, new territory. But it is promising if we can overcome some kind of defeat here from the lies that we've told ourselves, the lies that we have been told, why those lies were there, what created that. The Seven of Swords is connected in with Aquarius also. So there's a large part of the collective that has been so exhausted from making the wrong choices, ending up with the wrong people, ending up in a situation that is not good for their health, making decisions with a lack of intuition, or not even listening to the intuition, going along with the collective, or going along with what was advertised. So I feel that this merging has to do with, it's like there's different layers and different parts to it. It's like there has been actually, I'm going to say there will be a defeat. There's going to be some sort of defeat coming. I think for some people this defeat is going to really illuminate the people around them. Like, you could be in a partner and suddenly realize, because of how you observe them and their reaction to something, that you want a divorce. It's like that simple. Other people are going to basically, as soon as the defeat starts happening in their lives, they're going to start thinking of solutions. And that's where that kind of grafting energy comes in. It's like, as soon as something starts to get worse or break down, something else starts to get better. So it's happened again. I went to record the second part of this reading and just didn't record. There's something about that doesn't usually happen. So maybe I'll just keep it short. I'll just go over the things that I said before this. This is sort of a test. It's testing my frustration on this, because I really think these messages are quite interesting, and it just takes me back to these to people who really want to have their voice heard. And it could be that, like, they really strongly believe in what they say, and often it's true that they believe in what they say, but maybe it's totally bullshit, maybe it's totally wrong, but they believe it. So it's an interesting kind of dilemma, belief versus reality. And what I'm seeing here is that if I go back to the reading, I've clarified a lot of things in this, and basically what we have is the Alchemist, Virgo energy, opposite this Neptune energy, and this lack of progress that is potentially going to hold people back in this new beginning. People want something new, and there is a new beginning, but it's like, how do you change the fact that there's not going to be much progress in this new beginning if the new beginning is based on the Hierophant, which is old stuff, old knowledge, old ways of doing things. That Nine of Wands, holding on to that that kind of way of doing something in your life could be potentially the block that this Vesta energy can help you to shift your devotion. All you need to do is shift into a new approach, be creative, tap more into your subconscious. Like I said, maybe record yourself doing a reading, listen back to it, and write down the stuff that is going to surprise you. Because I do that myself. Like when I do editing, sometimes I'm surprised at the things that I say, and there are hidden messages that we don't quite consciously absorb in the moment, and we look back and see something deeper that we couldn't see before. So what's going to unlock the potential of progress is to move away from something that is obsolete. It's not going to be productive in doing it the same way as it was done before. So it's a very traditional kind of card, the Hierophant. The other thing is that there is a reluctance to move away from the traditional way of doing something or whatever it is. And the reluctance is because of this High Priestess. This is unknown. Six of Swords in reverse. With the High Priestess, this is completely unknown territory. And there's reluctance of course, of how am I going to make progress by doing something completely new, rewriting something through the use of my intuition, and graft it to be exactly what I hoped for it to be, blindfolded, in the dark. How am I going to actually do that? But it is saying that you have to have faith in your intuition. Unfortunately, this goes into a dark area as well. We'll have a lot of people, we'll hear a lot of people who have such a strong conviction and a belief in things that are not really beneficial for themselves or for other people, because they will not move away from some old, outdated, traditional idea. And I understand the desire to hold on to the old ways, the old traditions in certain things. But it's actually not going to bring any progress by holding on to it. And I'm not saying that all traditions should be ignored, but certain ones that are becoming, like I said, obsolete in our collective, in our world, in the present, evolutionary point that we're at, they just don't serve us anymore. And so I feel like this is totally new experience. A lot of people, whatever it is you're doing, I feel like you're stepping into it with confidence, but you're going to have like backlash with other people who are more inclined to talk through survivalist mode, because I have Mercury and Mars here with Leo, which is like excessive language, excessive passion of like getting something going, wanting something new to happen, but there must be dedication to what will work. There has to be a planning mode going on. It's a new kind of planning mode where it involves anxiety, because it's a natural human thing to be anxious about what may not work. So it's kind of like dealing with the anxiety or the nervousness that you might feel as you're moving into this new thing in a different way. Take a new approach. And it is funny because as I was recording and I was finishing up this reading, the Page of Swords was standing out. It's the last card in this spread, and I thought, I'm going to look at the astrological chart, see if there's anything. Should I talk about Uranus? And I thought, no, I'm not going to talk about Uranus because it's not showing up anywhere in this reading, in any of the cards. And then I pulled a card on the Page of Swords, and it's Uranus. So this brought my attention to the Uranus squaring with Mercury, which is maybe some people coming forward towards you, or just us observing people who are quick to say something. It's going to be totally out unexpected and has a lot of passion behind it. you also could be finding yourself in a situation where you say something and you have no idea why you said it. Things like that. But I feel like for the most part it is about an observing of what is possible, the possibilities, being able to see where you could change the situation for your own benefit in an unselfish way, because we do have the Ten of Cups here, which is the water replenishing all cups, where this new thing that you're being grafted to and have been, hate to tell you, but newsflash, you have been over the last couple of years, few years, been moving towards this revolution in life, this time in life. So there are going to be people who may question your new thing or your direction, or what you are doing here. But I feel like ultimately you'll just be making a decision quickly, because you don't want to deal with the energy that it brings in, which is challenging. It's like an avoidance thing. It's really quick thinking. It's Mercury square with Uranus. It's like something happens, you make a decision quickly to avoid something from being much worse. And it surprises you of what you say or do or think of. But I feel like it's a challenge that everyone can handle, and that moving forward, this new beginning is not going to bring in these three swords that stab into the heart. The advice for this reading from the Fairy Tarot was that the Ace of Swords, don't be deterred by the challenges. There are going to be challenges, and to not be put off by them. Instead, take the time to, if it's not something that you have to deal with immediately and it's imminent and you have to do something, it's saying when the challenges arise, take the time to give yourself rest and replenish your energy, and focus on what you're devoted to. King of Cups and Princess of Winter, which is the Page of Swords, again, so third time in this reading. The things that are going to come to you intuitively might be difficult to swallow, but they actually are a truth that can help you. And whatever comes to you intuitively about another person, and you feel the need to speak to them about this, whatever they're doing with this Mars energy and communication and being excessive or whatever. It could be just someone's just speaking to you too much from their survival instinct, or speaking to you in a way that is overpowering. Whatever it is in life, however it shows up, the intuitive insight that you get through this situation, you have to speak the truth with some sort of tact, so that it doesn't create an even bigger challenge. So that's the advice for this new moon. It's really about overcoming places where we feel insecure, and the willingness to start something new or do something in a new approach that tunes into the intuitive wisdom and not fanatical kind of ideology. This is like purely intuitive wisdom. It's like when someone talks to you, you can feel the vibration of where it's coming from and what it is, and the energy and the truth behind it, or not. So it's saying that there could be some challenges. What are these challenges that could be coming up that have to do with this Capricorn energy? The challenges have to do with the ego. So these are things on superficial levels, like challenges with your lifestyle, challenges with the kind of car that you drive, the challenges with anything that you have purchased or acquired through your ego or ego desires. There's going to be challenges with it. The way that you deal with it is going to be Neptunian, intuitive, creative way of dealing with something. It's almost like being your own best friend in crisis. So something to do with the assets or things that you've acquired through things that we acquire through the ego's desire. It's going to set you up so that you feel trapped and see exactly how much importance you place on those material items. This potentially is the reason why you get caught up in the fear and the worry. But I feel it's an illusion. So a lot of it is about discerning the illusion from what's real. There is a message about, with these challenges, the success comes through how dedicated you are and how much self-discipline you have, and how meaningful is the accomplishment. So that's the message, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my email address is readings.april@gmail.com. I can give you a personal reading if you'd like that. But thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.